That's beautiful. Ken started painting at a young age, influenced by his parents who were both artists. His paintings express the connection of emotions, movement, and energy, using vibrant colors and reveal orderly sense of landscape symbolism and transformative characters that tie into this cultural heritage. His handmade jewelry extends his painted images into spiritual form using traditional metalsmithing techniques. Initially a self-taught jeweler, Ken received his training from Studio Jewelers Ltd. In Manhattan. His jewelry has been featured in fashion productions, sold in boutiques, and exhibited among his paintings and art galleries and the Museum of Contemporary Native American Arts in Santa Fe. Woo!
Woo! Yeah.
Then started teaching himself how to break dance at 11 years old, and by age 16, he won all the significant breakdancing award events in Colorado and competed in nearby states. After high school, Ken moved to New York, where the hip-hop theater company Full Circle Production had invited him to receive mentorship and training. Subsequently joined the company and performed Broadway and touring shows. He has joined performed the legendary street crew, the New York City Float Committee, whose members who taught him original footwork styles from the 1970s. Yeah, amazing work.
We want to see that.
Yeah. I'm gonna move along. In 2010, inspired to combine his poetry, the themes and the images of his paintings and dance, Ken began experiencing with electronic instruments, including drum machines, synthesizers, and theremin. How do you sound? Theremin, yeah. As well as bass and guitar. He composed and performed all of the music on the albums Flowers Fall Asleep in 2012, New Light Boom 2013, The Cry of Nature's Birth 2016, Rain Over the Clouds 2020, and The Plains of Inferno 2023, all released his Innerist music label. Ken Fury's astronomic soundscapes explore surreal world linked into the past and the future, and weave out the life of the earth. That's where that futurism that I'm talking about comes. That's this how we explore arts and creating an alternative futurism. Right. The short films he directs, which presents music of the visual form, have been selected and screened in art festivals in the U.S. and internationally, including American Indian Film Festival and the Portland Film Festival. In 2022, Ken was nominated for the Best Rock Video at the Native American Music Awards. Well done.
That's cool.
That's a great So, quick question that before we get into the art, I want to ask you to explain the concept of fury, and then after that, if you could tell us where you kind of your Hemisado identity and how that led to your consciousness to explore your art.
Good question.
Okay, so the name Fury actually comes from my friend. His name is Quickstep. He's one of my mentors from New York. He's like an old school legend in breakdancing. And so I went out there to visit when I was 16 years old. And we went to a club. And at that time, you have to be like 18, or actually 21 and over. And I was able to get in. I was only 16, so it was actually pretty cool. But anyway, this other guy, he was an older guy as well, he called me out, which means he challenged me in a dance battle. And I was young, and I was like, okay. And at that time, I was already, used to battling people and stuff in dance. And we just like kept going at it for a while. And my friend Quickstep, he said, your dance name should be Fury, because when you're just like in normal life, you're pretty chill. But when you dance, like something in you gets ignited and it's strong. That's what he told me. So that's where the Fury comes from.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
So that represents like fire. It was kind of crazy because my last name, my normal last name is Mares, which means seas. So yeah, the water and the fire. It's pretty cool.
Pretty good balance.
Yeah.
And now tell us, tell us about the, how your identity carries and influences your art.
Well, My art is basically a reflection of like my normal life, really. So going through and learning more about like my history and identity and stuff, and like building on my identity and learning where I come from, because a lot of information, like we didn't have a full grasp of everything. You know, a lot of our family, because we grew up in Pueblo, but my family's come from New Mexico. So when you leave New Mexico, basically there's a divide, and a lot of information gets like cut off. And it is a different culture. It's similar, but it is very different. And there's not as much like people aren't as embracing of like New Mexican culture out there because it's very different. You know, out here it's celebrated. So with my grandma, for example, when she moved out there in the 70s, and my grandma and grandpa on my mom's side, they faced like serious discrimination. You know, the schools told them they need to stop teaching the kids Spanish and all this stuff. So we have all these things we're always battling with in that. And then with history, you know, they knew quite a bit, but they didn't know everything. You know, and on my dad's side, it was very similar. He comes from, basically, from Pueblo, Colorado to Trinidad, Colorado, and then to Mora, to Abiquiu, to Las Trampas, so a lot of the Hinisilo communities it traces through.
That's pretty much the movement.
Yeah,
Yes.
so, but he didn't really know a lot of that, actually. We had to research that, and then I talked to my great aunt, and she knew like a lot of information, and we just like worked together, and I got help from like Miguel Torres, who, he's not here today, but he's part of like your guys' like group, and he's a historian and stuff, and other people that work on genealogy in New Mexico helped me a lot too. Like whenever I reached a point where I couldn't go past, like trying to find ancestors like mom or dad, they would like pull out these books and they would like find it. It was so crazy, and they just kept helping me. And like I got like both families traced back all the way from like now to like what 1598, like here in New Mexico, and it's pretty cool, you know. And I share it with my family, and it helps us a lot. So all that stuff influences my art, because naturally whatever I'm going through comes out. So I don't really think too much about it in terms of like I want to translate this to art and plan it. I developed this a long time ago. I would just let it come out like from freestyling, kind of like improvising, and from that it would reveal like things to me. Like it makes sense.
So with that, you know, let's move on to what people can experience about your art, because I'll ask you and then I'll do my interpretations, what I think is kind of cool, very interesting and very creative.